We're out here. Come on. Hey, welcome back to the bench. Today at school, students had an opportunity to share two things that were personal in nature. One was we challenged students to reach back and email a teacher that had had an impression on their lives. And we got hundreds, literally hundreds of emails from students. Even the principal of the building got a couple of emails from some students, all thanking us for our work and having made a small impression on their learning, and for some even more than just a small impression. And it was just fantastic to hear, I got emails from teachers from other schools who received notes from students that they hadn't even seen in 4 years. And they just thought it was a fabulous event today for students to kind of pay it forward and think about who in their life had an impact and go back and thank that person. And it was wonderful. The other thing that students did today was they were supposed to have a poem in their pocket that they could share with somebody that they were talking with online today. Poem in a pocket is something that was started by the 7th grade English group years ago. And every year, students would gather, not on a day like today, but outside on a warm May day, and they would share a poem that they thought was special to them, and they would read it aloud, and they would have to explain what impressed them about the poem for them to want to share it live, if you will, amongst their peers. I always looked forward to Poem in a Pocket Day because I enjoy poetry, and I would often go outside and sit with the kids and listen to them read, and Mrs. Healy or Mrs. Einhorn would invariably ask me if I had a poem to share that day. Sometimes I had a poem in my pocket, and sometimes I did it by memory. I've admired Robert Frost forever and have memorized quite a few of his words. And so I'm always able on the spot to deliver one of those poems if I'm asked. And I think the students are sometimes impressed that I don't need to have it in my pocket in order to recite it. So it's always a nice day for me to go outside and to prove to the students that, there's more to the principal than cafeteria duty, if you will. And since today was Poem in a Pocket Day, I had experimented with taking some of my words from my writing and making, some signs out of it. And I didn't do it really to make my words part of the project, but to see how to print things on large type and to create a decorative piece from them, and just kind of experimented, if you will. And so I chose some things from my writings in the past, and I've made a few of these things that I just keep, in my office, and it reminds me of the day when I was typing on a typewriter in college and doing writing for the creative writing courses that I took. And when I got home and the computer age came along, I took all those old onion skin papers and I typed everything back into a hard drive. So now I have all my old college stuff on a hard drive, and who knows what for. Hopefully eventually Winnie and Beatrice might read those things and get to know their grandpa a little bit better, and just have those memories to share. And certainly my children have never read all of these things, although they've heard a few of them. And so everybody maybe one day can sit around and choose a poem from Grandpa's pocket and read it aloud. But to close out the week this week, since it is Poem in a Pocket Day, I thought I would share something with you that I wrote many years ago. And this is for the students of Columbia Middle School. A few questions for them. What kind of thief opens your door? What kind of dreams leave you asking for more? What kind of road would you like to walk down? What kind of folk would you hang around? What kind of tree would you never chop down? What kind of river would you keep around? What kind of crops would you grow on your farm? What kind of person would you hold in your arm? What kind of science would you read about? What kind of sport gets you up and out? What kind of things would you keep in your heart? What kind of people would you keep apart? What kind of color would you paint your skies? What kind of things do you see with your eyes? What kind of drawings would be found in your art? What kind of war would you ever start? What kind of changes would you make from the past? What kind of changes would you like to last? What kind of story would you like to write down? What kind of love would you pass around? What kind of books would you keep on your shelf? What kind of secrets would you keep to yourself? What kind of poems do you like to read? What kind of pain makes you most bleed? What kind of question would you rather ignore? Answer me that, and I'll ask you some more. Have a wonderful weekend.